Hello, and welcome to another dye sublimation tutorial video with your host, Michael at Joto Imaging Supplies. Today, we're going to be working with some more mugs, but these mugs aren't just ordinary mugs, these are marble mugs, and they've got some special coloration that really amplifies some of your work if you're choosing the right colors and the right consistencies. So let's take a look at them. So, as you can see, we've got blue, pink, and gray. They come in beautiful marbleized patterns. Very inconsistent is the word for it, but instead of looking at it as inconsistent, look at it as random and unique. We also have smaller mugs, 11 ounce and 15 ounce. I'm a big 15 ounce guy. I want a full cup of coffee, but for those who like the smaller, here it is. As usual, today we're going to be using images by my wife Olga, her artwork, her painting. It's watercolor, by the way, for people who are interested, watercolor art on watercolor paper. She's using a brush, nothing digital. All right, so let's take a look. I am intentionally choosing solid colors that will not get lost in the patterning, but also I'm choosing a color palette that complements the marbling. We don't want the image to get lost at the same time as we would like it to be complemented by the marbling in the mug. So what have I done? Well, I choose pink with pink. And for the blues, I'm choosing a darker blue that will be highlighted. This step should be very familiar to everybody. Just a matter of centering your image onto your mug. As always, I try to cut the image out to give me an idea of where the actual image is on the paper because, of course, I can't see through it. And so it will help me, if I do a proper cut, to center my image properly. Now, I have gone a little big at the top and bottom, but hey, at the top and bottom, I can see whether or not I'm losing image. Once I'm happy with where it's at, piece of tape on each side, fixes it to the mug, make sure that it's good and snug. It's not super important that it be very snug, but it shouldn't be loose enough that it could wrinkle or, affect your image in that way. I'm going to do the rest of these, and then we'll move on over to the press and see how they turn out. So off camera, I made a couple of color decisions to change what you saw me putting it on. I actually got the bear on the blue, and now we're here at 370 for 235 seconds, essentially medium pressure, same as you would do on a normal pearl coat plain white mug. And of course, we're using our 5-station mug press for running through large quantities at a time. One of the other advantages of this press also is that if you do several different sizes of mugs or kinds of mugs, you can set them to different settings, leave them like that, and when you're doing a 12 ounce or rather in this case a 15 ounce, you have your 15 ounce settings already set up and then your 11 ounce settings in a different one, which is what I've got set up here. All right, let's throw it in and see how it turns out. This is the one I think is going to come out really well. Everything's just about exactly what I would expect to do with just a standard 15 ounce mug. We'll see you in about 225 seconds. Seconds to go. We're going to hear our little alert. And out she comes. Now you pull that off. Watch your fingers, of course. You can see I am wearing a glove. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. So you can see that by choosing bright, vibrant images, you can get something really unique and different, something that just a standard white pearl mug can't offer. Now it is true that it isn't as versatile as a plain white mug. Well, of course not, but choosing the right images does make a difference. And all right, here's our pink. We've got another one to show you a little later as well. And the last one. Hot, hot, hot. I'm pretty happy with the results there. Okay, so as you can see, it really does depend on the kind of image that you choose. This came out beautiful, but I'm willing to argue that that came out even better. Why? Darker, vibrant, full images that don't get lost in the marbling behind. Instead, in this case, the marbling accentuates the piece rather than overpowers it. Here's another example. I love this whale looking as though it's swimming in the ocean. It does look great. I'm actually quite happy with it. But this bear, still hot. This bear looks like he's actually fishing in a river. The piece is dark, but definitely is accentuated by the marbling within the mug itself. It really is about image selection and knowing how to use the marbling to your advantage to create a unique and interesting piece. This wolf, also still hot. This wolf looks fantastic against the gray. It's dark enough and vibrant enough that it doesn't get lost in the marbling, still looks excellent. And the same on our small piece. This is the 11 ounce. But there is something I want to show you about the 11 ounce. One of the things you may notice is that at the bottom here, I've brought my piece up and it does seem, even with that, to fade slightly at the bottom. With this, it looks great. In fact, it almost looks as though I planned it. Here is a better example. It tapers slightly at the bottom. So, something to watch out for is to understand that your real imprint area is not all the way quite to the bottom, but up a little higher. Just something to keep in mind when processing the 11 ounce. It's not something that comes up with the 15, but the 11, for best results, do be aware of the small taper at the bottom. This has been Michael with Joto Imaging Supplies, bringing you yet another dye sublimation tutorial video. Thank you so much for joining us. If you like our content, please like or subscribe and subscribe. And if you really like it, tell your friends. Please also consider leaving a message in the comment box letting us know what you'd like us to dye sublimate next. And we'll definitely read it and do that in the future to accommodate you. As a matter of fact, we'll likely even give you a shout out if you want one. Thank you again. We'll see you next time.